Hi, everyone. Good morning. A pleasure to welcome you to another edition of the Political Discourse. As you're joining us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and turn on the notification button for more political updates. Now, in what appears to be a very disturbing and dramatic turn of events, Tinubu have matched words with action. For the very first time in the history of Nigeria, Tinubu has succeeded in decentralizing the military training depot, which has become previously the birthrights of the northern people. You know, the recent move by Ahmed Tinubu, matching his words with action by splitting the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology into six geopolitical regions, which has commenced in earnest. In Oshobo today, we have the next training depot of the Nigerian military, which has never happened in the history of Nigeria since independence. The North have enjoyed this monopoly without being contended, which is cited in Zaria, Kaduna State. We have the Nigerian Defense Academy in Zaria. We have the NCAT, the Nigerian College of Aviation and Technology, cited in the North. The North have enjoyed this military dominance and prominence. And the reason why they dictate, they play a vital role in deciding the military architecture and structures. When you consider the ratio at which that is being distributed, you now understand that the North has the majority in the military. How does that happen? Was it a magic? Of course, this is a well-articulated, systematic, and strategic adventures being put in place by the northern political oligarchs to continue the exclusive dominance on matters of military and security. So it is not a surprise when you see uh, that some regions, especially the southern regions, are being given some quota, while in the north you have the majority of the intake are coming from the north. Predominantly the Fulanese and every other northern people has undue advantage over every other ethnic nationality in Nigeria. But Tinubu, being a very strategic politician who understands the implication of this and the security or national security, who understands the implication of this to national security. You see, immediately Tinubu uh, reportedly raised that concern, you see the reactions of the northern people. They break loose. Hell was let loose. How could Tinubu dare to alter what has been even pre-colonial eras? You see, what has that to do with pre-colonial eras? You mean that the same status quo will not be reviewed, will continue, of course, indefinitely without any review or recourse to the current realities, especially now that the state of insecurity has taken unusual dimension. There are suspicions, there are elements of doubt. There is no longer national coherence, trust among different regions of this country. Everybody is now being tailored towards ethnocentric and tribal lines, which definitely have instilled fear among Nigerians and the sincerity on the part of the political elites to ensure equity, fairness, and equal opportunity to everyone has been doubted. So the foundation of Nigeria is hanging on a thread. So for the North to have criticized Ahmed Bola Tinubu, fought him, throw all manner of course, assaults, attack on his personality reveals something more deeper that we could envisage. So the North, they claim, one of the northern political elite came up to say that how dares Tinubu to change what has been there, even pre-colonial eras, that the North have enjoyed such monopoly and such hegemony should not be tampered, that the North reserve the absolute right to continue the dominance within these sectors, that nobody should change the status quo. You know what that means? That Tinubu has no right, even being the presiding as the president of Nigeria, to alter those foundations that have been led by who? Of course, the North has been within the corridor of power for ages, and they have tailored their policies, strategies, and national matters in a way that it favors their interests. It protects their interests. So that hegemony or monopoly they have enjoyed over the years shouldn't be seen as a surprise, because it is not just about national uh, interest or patriotism, being patriotic, but it is being played along ethnic and tribal lines. The reason why they will want at every opportunity to have dominance over the South. So it's an issue of politics, regional politics. It is not intended to address the crisis rocking the nation and to create an equal opportunity for uh, people who merited such to occupy the positions. So that is an indication indeed that something is dramatically shifting. There is a dynamic shift of events, and the North are not happy with that. The reason why the North are calling for the immediate removal of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Yes, these are one of the major reasons. It is not just about the state of economy, which I could largely attribute to that, but the major reason why the North are ganging up, regrouping, of course, forming alliance, is to dislodge Tinubu out of office with intention to stop that move. You know, they understood that even the likes of Awolowo would have torn the same path. So when Tinubu came to say he is a student of Awolowo, he possibly may have understood or been briefed about Awolowo's ideology and the rest of the, or what he intends to do if he being given the opportunity as the president of Nigeria. The reason why he demanded that he should be given opportunity to preside as the president of Nigeria just for one day, 24 hours. And definitely the North, the northern political elite could not trust him with that, because he is too intelligent uh, to their liking, that they definitely could not control Awolowo, and they understood that this man is burning and definitely could be cunning and may not be trusted with his word, because they are afraid that the northern hegemony or dominance might, of course, be crippled or strangulated, just as what is happening now. You see them coming out to shout. You begin to ask, does it mean they are born to enjoy this undue advantage over other regions? What law guarantees such? In a secular society, in a multi-plural ethnic society as Nigeria, you want everything to be domiciled, of course, within your region. What was your intention for that? So it is a very laudable position, steps are taken by the administration of Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the Jagaban, and the strategies. He understood there must be equity, fairness, and balance in the system. But he's beginning with his own region, trying, having, of course, shown his direction and what he intends to do. And the North are saying now he will not go for the second term because definitely if he's doing this, taking these steps, that is already displacing the North's hegemony and dominance in all sectors, definitely they will know for sure that once he step in into the second uh, tenor, definitely they will entirely lose their dominance in every facet of Nigerian existence. So decentralization of the military training depot is a way to go. It's a welcome development. You can't just imagine where Nigerians imagine with the plurality, with the nature of Nigeria in terms of ethnicity, religious, tribal lines, the entire military facility will be based in the north. For what reason? Definitely, if you are to be the North, they won't accept that. So why are they telling Nigerians that it has been pre-area or pre-colonial eras, and as such, the British adopted that, so it has come to say, which of course affirm the conspiracy of the British with the Fulani Caliphate or the Northern. Of course, they are the one in charge of the Northern politics to mortgage or enslave other regions of the country. So Tinubu is ending that military, northern military dominance by this move. And that should be commendable. It should be one of the uh, applaudable feats or positions or actions or move taken by Tinubu's administration, and every Southerner must understand this. You know, Obasanjo tried to decentralize it, uh, the armament and the armories to three, I think, Ibadan, Enugu, and Kaduna. The North was not happy. Eventually, after Obasanjo left, Jonathan came, and Jonathan also tried that, but eventually Buhari reversed everything that was done, you see, to decentralize the military facilities and the rest of them and return them back to Kaduna. Move them back to Kaduna. You can imagine that. So if eventually we don't pray for that, there is an outbreak of war, or definitely something definitely happens to the Jaji as we experience under Buhari's time, that the Nigerian Defense Academy or the Jaji was invaded by the terrorists, the assailants, and carted away the ammunitions. They left the Jaji in ruins. Laboratories and every other facilities was carted, which eventually some, I think, Major General or so, some military personnel, hierarchy personnel was killed in the process. You can imagine how deadly such assaults could be and the impact on the national security. If those weapons running into billions of naira, if not dollars, finally gets into the hands of the terrorists and this bandit, you know, the national implication of such. So, which means even Nigeria would have nothing to fall back in terms of defending its sovereignty and territorial integrity in the case of or events of external aggression. You understand now that now the Boko Haram or the terrorists have the effrontery to challenge the Nigerian military. But if it were decentralized, as was done during Jonathan or Obasanjo time, some parts, I mean, pronouncedly during Jonathan time, Oyo and Enugu also have the fair share of this for balance and equitable distribution. Such wouldn't have happened. So considering the national implication or security implication to that, I think the action of Tinubu is quite recommendable and applaudable in that regard. It's not just about sentiment and the rest of it. About 7 months ago, you see, the President Ahmed Bola Tinubu has reportedly approved the division of the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology in Zaria, sited in Zaria, Kaduna State, into 6 campuses. Yes, for easy accessibility and convenience. You know, you can't just because you are from the southeast or the southwest, you have to traverse several kilometers, several hours, not less than 10, 12 hours going to Abuja because you want to attend training. And with the state of insecurity currently in Nigeria today, and not everybody could afford uh, air tickets. You know what that means? So make it very closer to the people for accessibility and convenience. The reason why the North has undue advantage, the reason why the North turn out more graduates than every other part of the country. And when you get there, there are advantages, of course, peculiar to the locals, to the indigenous host communities. Yes, they are not telling us that. There are concessions, waivers being given to the indigenous communities or regions where that campuses or training depot is being cited. Yes, they have certain opportunities or privileges that is not privy to other people. They could recruit in mass, and the reason why when you see now the Nigerian military and other security outfits, you see the North is still dominating because it is in Kaduna even before anything happens. Every other region or state within the northern region could, as a matter of hours, traverse and convert within Abuja and environs. So there could be massive recruitment and the rest of them. Why somebody coming all the way from Imo State, Ogun State, and those states, Enugu State, might not find it very easy uh, to converge or access certain informations. And it is quite interesting. But the North kicked against it. Why? Why? Tinubu has come to destroy the North. Tinubu is no longer protecting the interests of the North. We said it that an average Yoruba man, of course, is very treacherous, and the rest of them, when given the opportunity, they are doing that to cover up. There is something going on over the decades, unchallenged, unchallenged. And eventually they have seen that the move and the action of Tinubu will dismantle all those undue advantage over other regions. And that, for me, is a welcome and commendable development. You can't just, in the multiplurality uh, nature of Nigeria, you want to just grab everything and while other people are losing out. No, it cannot happen. And more of that is there are other areas, of course, that must be considered in terms of federal character and the rest of them. Yeah, federal character and the rest of them to ensure equitable distribution of every opportunity inherent within the system. Now, the civil society coalitions also praises Bola Ahmed Tinubu for this laudable development of citing or splitting the NCAT, the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, of course, into 6 campuses. Of course, the Oshobo or the Southwestern ANES have commenced training in NS in Oshobo, and that is a welcome development. Definitely, that have dismantled the northern dominance in terms of military recruitment and the rest of them. So it's a welcome development. You see the proximity of Osobo uh, to maybe Anambra and Delta and the rest of them, you see, than moving, conversing all through the way to Kaduna, Zaria, with this state of insecurity, rocking the Nigerian state. So Tinubu keep on dismantling the North, you see, and making it very clear to them that the area or the season of hegemony or undue dominance and monopoly enjoyed by the North is has come to an end. The reason why definitely they will be fighting with all their reserve energy, with everything at their disposal, because they knew they need to stop Tinubu before Tinubu eventually stops them or uh, destabilize all their plans to control the entire sector of Nigeria to their own advantage. When Tinubu eventually moved some section of the central bank administrative branch of the central bank down to Lagos State, you know what happened? There was an uproar. Everybody was worried that Tinubu has come again. He want to move the capital of Nigeria from Abuja to Lagos. So why this fear? What is the interest they are trying to protect? There is something more to that. There is something more to that. And eventually, that we must look into beyond whatever rhetorics or propaganda being sponsored in this regard. The reason why, for me, this definitely, P2B may not have taken such steps or may not have the courage, of course, to take such proactive steps in order to maintain definitely his ties with the North and the rest of them. But Tinubu is telling them that we need to do and restructure Nigeria in such a way that it will be in the collective interest of every region. So no region in Nigeria should have dominance and undue advantage over other regions. Well, that is quite commendable in that regard, honestly. And that will give opportunity for more people, you see, to easily access these campuses and eventually aspire and live out their aspirations, rather than when you consider the cost implications, the risk factors, traversing the several kilometers down to Kaduna and the rest of them. You see, it's very distressing, and eventually some people might just uh, pull back in that regard. But then, kudos to the position taken by Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I think that aspect is commendable, and we anticipate more of that. And as a matter of fact, and Tinubu must act very fast, because he should not be waiting for the second term, which is hanging on a balance. So he has about a year plus to facilitate every aspect of restructuring that had been the nagging concern or issues of concern or national concern in Nigeria. Because just as Jonathan did, he was waiting for a second tenure, which is just a mere illusion, optical illusion. He never came. You see, what he has now is the opportunity. He has every opportunity in the next 6 months to restructure or embark on reforms that possibly would put Nigeria or each regions to a place of advantage, not being manipulated or not being exploited. So that area of resource control, let each region control their resources and develop at their own pace, man their own security outfit, tailor it in such a way that it will address the local or peculiar needs of the people. These are the other aspects people are looking up to Tinubu to act now. They shouldn't be waiting for tomorrow. He has the opportunity today to rewrite that wrongs. And definitely that could speak for him. Posterity might remember him for this because he may not have other opportunity than this one. This is enough. 4 years is enough to do whatever, to transform and reject the system. If he fails to do that, eventually the North returns back to power. They will mess him up and they will destroy everything. They will strip the South, especially the Southwest, of whatever they have ever enjoyed. This is very important. It's not a threat, but that is a reality that is about to unfold. So if Tinubu eventually fails to take these actions, when he have the opportunity, yes, he has the opportunity now as the president. He presides as the president of Nigeria. So he shouldn't think that opportunity always call. Seize this opportunity and get things done very fast because time waits for no one. If he fails to do that, he might possibly regret that action of not being proactive. Now, the federal government has opened the second military training depot in Oshobo, Osho State. This is the first time military training base is decentralized in the history of Nigeria. That is quite very interesting and commendable. Zaria has been the only place where military personnel are trained since 1914. Now we have second one almost 100% years in the southern part of the country. You can imagine it have taken over 100, a century before such gain, before such undue exclusive dominance. Jane is broken. Wow, I think that Tinubu should be celebrated for that. Political power is the ultimate power, except the power of God. For 100 years plus, it has been an exclusive dominance of the North. This is the reason why the North, we are saying, it has been there pre-independence or colonial era. And that has remained unchallenged. The reason why they have been in control of the Nigerian state. They dictate what happens in the military, in the political cycle, because they have a advantage of the military. And the northern military, those people push into there will definitely defend the interests of the North as against the South because they have the population in the Senate Assembly, they have the population in the National Assembly, they have the population in the military, they have the population. I mean, they control the resources, they make law and promulgate such policies that would be to the advantage of the North and not the entire region of the country in fairness and equity. That is just the case. So 100 years of northern military dominance has been destroyed by the Jagaban. Let's have your own take and reactions with this update. Thanks for watching.